So in the last class, what we had discussion. We just check how the inbound email actions will work. So that's fine. And today, so earlier we had a discussion about the server side scripting, which are the scripts or what are the will be executed at server side and the client side. Today we will today we will the concept is script include. Script include Step include is nothing but it's a server side execution. That means it will a server side scripting. It's a server side scripting which will be a executed server side and which will be a one and it's a Java class. So why we need to use the server scripting or else why we need to use a scripting? For example, if you are writing a script and there are 4 to 5 scripts in the incident table on the problem table and any other table we have a different scenarios. That means for each and every scenarios there is one common scenario was there. If you want to call that common scenario, you need to write a script for each and every table. Instead of it, if you write a script in the script include and you can call it from the callback from the function. If you call it from the function, so that what happens, so it will be the function will be automatically called and it will save the time and reduce the code written. So that means it will be reusable code. So for this one, reusable code, that is the advantage of the main of the script include. So today we will write a script include and see. So these are all existing script include. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to write a script include which can be used to one. So for example, we have seen it. Let me open that Narayana table. So if I open Narayana table, so if I open, so if I taken the in charge, if the in charge has filled it, the in charge email ID and the phone number has to automatically filled here. So right now we have not script here. So for that, what what we will do is we will write a script include. So if you instead of we have written a get reference, so get reference will be useful but it will not be applicable in the service portal or something. So at the time, what we have to do, we have to write a script include, and we can edit. So the scenario is, if user is selected able tutor, this email ID and phone number has to automatically fill it. That is the requirement. For that, what we can write is, we can write a script include, and we can define a what we call this one. We can write a script include, and we can write it. So now let us change. Now I'm just going to write a script include. Here I'm just defining it as a user details. User details. See, this is called as a API, and here you can call a option called client callable. If you want to call a script include from the client callable, from the client level, you should be always mark as a true. That means you need to execute this script in the client level. So if you want to write it, you can write it, and this one application and application access from all access. For example, if you see this application scope is nothing but, so right now we are in the global application. That means this script include will be executed in the this application, which is a global application only. It will execute. Or else, if you want any specific application, so we can write it. What is the application we have written? So it will be executed in the global only. So or else, if you given all application, it will be executed on all. We have a custom application. We have a customer service, ITVM, error question. There is a lot of application scope for this. Then this will be executed. Now client callable. So I'm just writing a description. This will autofill the phone number. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to save this one. Now what happened? We just created a script include, which is name is user details, and it should be called from the it should be client callable script include. Now the next step, what is our goal? Our goal is, for this one, we need to define a function. It was, so I'm just making I'm sorry, get function. Sorry, I'm just defining a function, get user details, get user details, and function. So here what I did is, I just define a function called get user details. So in that function, what we need to give is, so we need to define a one more function called where, variable where user ID equal to this dot get parameter. This dot get parameter will be used to, what was the value which was entered in the client side or wherever we use it. Get parameter, and just using sys is a sysparam underscore user. And next I'm just defining a another variable where return object equal to, So by default, I'm just defining it as an array. So this is the one. Now, now the next step. So here I need to figure what is our requirement. Our requirement is, so we need to autofill the data from the user table to the, when the user is selected on the specified field. Now the requirement is how we can call a table in ServiceNow. If you want to call a table, or if you want to one, what we will do is, so I'm just writing where. So we'll use the method called glide record. If you use the glide record, what happened? So it will fetch. So I'm just making where gr user equal to new glide record sys underscore user. The table name is I'm sorry. Sys underscore is user is the table. Now what we did is, just now what we have done is, we just add the table, and next what we need to filter the what is the user has entered it. So now where next gr.user, sorry, gr.user add query. What is the add query will do? Add query will filter the one. So here I'm just checking sysid of the user equal to, here what is the value we have fetched it, so which is a user id. So now what happened, now we have added the user, and we have to filter the way. If you want to fetch that one, we can use the gr user dot query. So now what happened, we just fetch the table, and what you call it? We just fetch the table, and we have described that one, and we have added it, we have query the table. Now the next step is, we don't know how many records we have, so we can use the while gr user dot next. So since we don't know how many iterations were there, so the best practice we can use the, so we can use the while loop. Now what happened, so first we need to fetch down. I'm just again, so we'll use the return dot obj. So what is the value we have stored it. So now what happened, I'm just making return obj. So since here we are define an array, here, see, return object dot. So here what we are going to do is return object dot. So the phone number for the backend is, the phone number field name was mobile underscore phone, the backend value of the phone. The backend value of the phone is mobile underscore phone equal to, so equal to what we are going to do is, so sorry, gr dot, sorry, gr user dot, gr user dot, that what is the value we have entered here. So user dot mobile, a field name in that one, mobile underscore phone dot to two dot string, dot to string will convert the what is the integer to the string value. Similarly, I'm just making return object obj url obj dot email equal to gr user dot email dot two dot string. So two dot string will convert the integer value or what are the value we have entered into the string format. So now this is the basic thing, and the next step. So we use the one and we have converted it. And next, if you want to, I'm just writing return. So return JSON dot stringify string string if stringify of return object return. So what happened here? String fee. 1 minute. So the string fee. Here we can see return JSON dot string fee. What is the advantage of the uh, so string fee? What is the advantage here? What we have defined? The string fee is used to data from client to the server model. The main purpose of this one when sending a web server, so convert the javascript object into the string, will use the string for that one. So now see here the function name we have divided wrong, so that's the reason it was showing as error. And they're all good. Let's see. So here it is showing as a user details as error. Let's check and fix it. When I trying to fix save this one, it will not save. Why? Because it is showing as an error. Why it is not showing? We have defined as per the syntax. Okay, we missed a comma here. This target parameter return object undefined. It was showing as an error. I'm just checking it's we have written as per the syntax, which is defined by the user, and so the return obj we have given as a small letters. I'm just checking why this was happen. Okay, that's okay. So it was showing us error. So let me check it from the starting onwards. The user is we have defined a class and user details prototype object extend abstract prototype get function user ID return object get user j user. So why it was showing it was open close. So let me open this one. This is the open closed it. This is the get function closed it. And for this function we have closed here. But still why it was showing as error. Hmm. This time being I'm just hiding this one. I don't think we don't need to hide in. I'm just hiding. Let's see how it will execute. In the meantime, we can write. Now, what happened? We need to write a client script for it. So, if you need to write a client script, I'm just waiting. So, writing right click, configure, and go to the client script. Charge details, autofill. Here, what is the type of client script we need to write? Any guesses or anyone? So, I'm just stating what is the type of client script we need to define. So, what is the clients type of client script we have to define? So what is the type of client script we need to define for this scenario, guys? Anyone has any idea which type we need to define it once? So if you want to, since the depending upon the field value, it was changing. So what we need to do is we need to define a client script called which is a on change client script since that depending upon that field value it was changing and what is our in charge one. So now what happened we just defining the client script type which is a on change and it was should be in the on field one. So now the next one what we have to do is the next one is what we have to do we have to write a client script. So now we need to call a glide ajax. So we need to call a the script include. If you need to call a script include, we need to use the method called glide ajax where glide ajax ga equal to new glide. If you want to call a table, we can use the glide record. If you want to call a script include glide ajax, what is the fin? What is the name we have written? So what are the name we have written? You can just call this one. So now what happened? We just created a table here. We just Fetch the, we just call the script include, and the next step is we need to call that function wherever we have asked it. So for that one, what happened? Ga dot add param. So add param request to that the record read in the script includes is param parameter invoke the function in the script, which means if you want to call that function, we can use the add param, add param. So add param of sys underscore param underscore user. What is sorry, sys param param sys param underscore name. So name, that means what is the function name, and what is the function we have defined here. We just let me check what is the function we have defined here. We just define here is get user details. I'm just copying this one. So copy and paste it here. Since it is a string function, we need to use the single quotes, or else it may have good one. So get param dot one, and the next step is we need to pass the value from here to there. If you need to do the pass the value, ga dot add param sys param underscore user will fetch the what was the user we have entered here, and sorry, what we'll compare with the, we'll go to the one, and g underscore if you, form dot get value of in chart. So if you don't know in chart, so if I open this one, so now what happened, we just fetch the user and we just come pass the value to from here to there. Next I'm just writing ga dot get xml. So get XML, you can see here get XML is a asynchronous call. It will wait the, it will, doesn't wait the until the result is coming. So which means if you since it doesn't wait for the above script to fetch it, whereas getXML wait is a synchronous call which will be used to wait the result has to come the one. So this is the interview question, what is the difference between getXML wait. GetXML is a asynchronous call which doesn't wait for the function before the script has to execute, and getXML wait is a synchronous call which will execute the value has to return it. So that's the difference. GetXML, I'm just writing callback. So I'm just writing here. So callback function. Callback function is nothing but, so I'm just defining this one. So callback, I'm just writing here. Again, I'm just writing the callback or defining the callback function. CTI callback dot response, or yes, I'm just making it as a response function callback response, and now I'm just defining one more variable where answer. So I'm just making where answer equal to response dot response XML. So since the data is in XML format, it will convert as XML dot XML dot document element is nothing but it will go to the user backend value. Document was you document element element dot get attribute of answer. Answer I'm just writing here answer answer we have written. Now, next, again, I'm just defining one more rule where answer 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 object equal to obj. So JSON dot pairs. So JSON dot pairs will convert the this one to the string format, the values which you stored it. Answer dot now. What happened now? So what are the values? Answer that we have fetch stored in the answer dot object variable. Now what we have to do is we need to set the value now g underscore form dot set value. Set value of the field is in charge email ID. And now for this one, what we have written answer dot ans wr answer obj dot mobile phone. So that means there we have written the mobile phone. We can add the same. Similarly, we can add the email ID g underscore form dot set value of what is this email ID. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. So in charge email ID, right? We can write a email ID. I'm sorry. So if you want to set the user one phone number in charge dot phone number comma answer dot ans obj dot phone number is mobile underscore phone. So now this is the script we have written. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this one. So now let's execute the try to execute the script. Let's see how it will execute. So I'm just going to in charge field able. No, it's not populated. That's fine. So let me check this scripting code. Very good. It's not populated. Let's debug the scripting code. We are not sure why this is the type we have to do. Let's check and debug this one. 1, 2, 3 was open. 1, 2, 3 was closed. I'll try to save this one. Like why this was happen. So I'm just checking, guys. User ID's function is fine. And this was fine. User ID. Maybe we have missed a very small mistake, so that we need to identify. Let me check it. User details, get function, user id, sysparam, return object, and glide record, glide add query, gr.next, and mobile phone number, return object email. Okay. Mm, why it was showing as a error? So let me check it again. See, they were showing that one was missing. Property line number 22. No. Column number 5. Okay, 5 is missing. This was open, this was closed, this was closed. That's okay. Hmm. This was coming, I'm not getting this. So, user details we have added, and this bear server. I'm sorry, guys. We needed the comma here. That's a mistake. Beside, there is a very small mistake which is showing the very different error. Now, let's reload this. The in charge will be filled. Why it is not filling? Okay, that's okay. Whether we can check. So, in charge is whether user details. Let me check with the names. Get user details function is fine. And yeah, user details, that's fine. Get user function, sysparam, in charge, callback, and callback response. What we return. The script was right. So okay, that's okay. If that is an odd, we just if you want to execute it, we can write an alert. Let's see whether the script is going to our parts is not. Alert welcome one, and let's see whether it is going to the loop or not. Again, I'm just writing alert. welcome to. Now I'm just writing. Okay, I think welcome to is not coming. So which means our script is not going to the loop. So here we need to debug it. What we have to do it. The function is not going to not what you call the for the what you return. So which is not going to the our loop. So which means we need to check it why it is not going to loop. Let me check whether we have given the in charge is correct or not. You underscore in charge just for cross verification. I'm just in charge phone number we have given as a correct and callback and element. Welcome three. So here we cannot write a callback. Alert. So let's say this and just debug it. So I'm just making Adelana. Welcome. Glad Ajax. Okay, the script is coming to here, and the next one here we can write elk alert welcome three. Nothing to use, but whatever we have to do is we just go to debug it the one by one. Welcome on. See, the script is not going to here. We did some mistake here. That's why maybe I can check this one in the next class. I can show you what is the error where we have done. So till now, you guys understood any queries?